Welcome back. The next page in the self-assessment is on Class 2 national insurance contributions. If your profits are over £6,365, then Class 2 NICs are mandatory. However, if your profits are less than that, then you don't have to pay them, but you can choose to do so, voluntarily. I'll just pause for a second here, to go a bit further. Under current rules, you need to pay at least 10 qualifying years of national insurance, for the minimum pension. And you'll need to pay 35 years, to be eligible for the full state pension. If you're young, paying Class 2s is a cheap way to get a qualifying year. But if you're over 55, and paid for many years already, you could opt to not pay, and save the £159, as you won't see any additional benefits. I already know my profits are more than 6,365, so it doesn't matter what I select here. But if you're on the fence, I'd recommend voluntarily paying another year towards your pension. This section is automatically calculated by HMRC, based on my payee code. As I don't have any outstanding tax due, it's already at £0, and I can save, and continue. And this section is virtually identical. It doesn't apply, so I'll move on. This is not asking about any of your current debts, such as credit cards, overdrafts, etc., and is relating to outstanding debts, to the HMRC. As I don't have any outstanding tax debt, I can click Next. Quite an important section, and even more so, if you're in the construction industry scheme, is the overpaid tax section. All we need to do is to put in our bank account details, and any overpaid tax will be debited into your bank account, after the following tax year settles. I'll want any monies into my own account, so I can continue. Self-explanatory here. Simply input all the relevant details of your bank, account name, sort code, and account number. In the event we end up not paying enough taxes, these checkboxes confirm with HMRC that they can add it on to your payee tax code the following year. We can simply select No to both of these boxes and continue. This section is extremely unlikely to be relevant to you, unless you're a farmer, a writer, or an artist. All the adjustments are optional, and it don't apply to me, so I go to the next page. This section is asking if any of the numbers you've put in are estimates or guesses. As we've done all our calculations already, I can click Next. Any other info that might be helpful to HMRC. As this section is optional, we can skip past it. Alright, so we're entering the final stages. Now's the time to double check you filed the right year. I haven't had any employers. I'm not in a partnership. I didn't have any income from property or foreign earnings. I didn't dispose of any chargeable assets, have any chargeable gains, claim an allowance loss, or make any other claim or election. We can now check over what we've entered so far, and check if anything's missing. Every section is complete, so I can now view my calculation. And the results are in. My total tax owed, for the 2019 to 2020 tax period, is £3,681.85. And I'll also need to pay an additional £1,761. This extra payment is covering the first 6 months period of the current tax year. The way HMRC comes to this number is simply by taking my tax for the last year and estimating it'll be the same for this year. And they're projecting I'll owe another £1,761 by the 31st of July. Ultimately, it might be more, or it might be less, but in the end, it'll get worked out in next year's tax return. I'm not making a claim to reduce any payments, so I can pick No. Now that everything's been calculated, you get an option to save a copy of your return. I'd advise that you do so. Save a color copy, and a black and white copy, and keep them in your records. And the last checkbox of the return is an important one. It's HMRC keeping you honest with the threat of prosecution if you knowingly give false information, either to reduce your tax bill or to get a bigger tax return. I've already checked and double-checked this return, so I won't lose any sleep over submitting it as it is. And now, I need to log in again for the final confirmation. And there we are. All done. I've blanked it out for privacy, but this page gives you a submission receipt reference. I usually screenshot this, or save the number in my cloud drive, in the unlikely event of there being an issue further down the road. Now, I can sign out. After the return's settled on HMRC's system, I can then pay my tax bill through the government gateway. If you're due a tax rebate, then it's usually within 2 to 4 weeks, until it processes to your bank account. I hope that these videos helped guide you through your tax return. If you've got any further questions, feel free to get in touch, or alternatively, check out our FAQ page. You can find it listed, among additional resources, in the Extras module.